Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FCDB Cup 2017. That is the FC Dynamo Brest Cup. The LAN will be played in Belarus, and we'll get to see which one of these teams can try and get to the LAN, because the loser will be eliminated from the qualifier here. Pride already 1-0 up, will be liking their chances heading into Cash. My name is Hawker, joined by Sir Danny to bring you the action. And Danny, we just saw Pride take a fairly convincing first map. Do you think that the second map will be as convincing for the Pride side?
On all, it shouldn't be, See, they picked this map for a reason. They are the better team. And the thing is, though, Pride, they don't really get to play the most amount of Cash. I mean, yes, you did mention they did get that astonishing win against Virtus Pro on a map like Cash, but at the same time, VP themselves, they don't really play the map that often. And Pride, well, I would still, as I mentioned, from the get-go, they should be the team that should come out on top here. After all, they are, I'd say, the better team with the more experience, and it comes down to teamwork, the team that has got that teamwork going as well, so they should be coming out on top. But a map like Cash could be maybe the difference maker. I mean, if Seed gets a good start and they're somehow able to miraculously end up being a completely 180 team than what we had seen on Mirage, I mean, it's always a possibility. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see as the countdown will continue on here, and Seed gonna be starting on that CT side. So CT side, if they get a good start, who knows, they might be coming out to be as the better team.
Yeah, I think winning this pistol round for Seed would be so huge from them, because as I was kind of alluding to earlier, I think if Crystal and Aiken both get AWPs in their hands, they could certainly get a lockdown defense on Cash, and double AWPs is certainly a possibility on this very map, and we're already going to be heading underway. Crystal with the kit and the 2 flashes. In the meantime, look at Pride all in towards A main, and they are going to just rush straight towards the A site. Let's see if the pace catches Seed off guard. Already Dennis gets a headshot through the smoke. Out comes the nade. They're going to continue to push, and the Glocks will find the frag back. Manise gets that entrance to the site, but look at Speedy. He's already here on the big flank. Pride sure they're going to get the bomb down, but Seed looking in fairly good positions to try and get this retake going. Although Morels does get a kill back, makes it a second frag, and so all of a sudden Pride have the man advantage.
Yeah, and Morel's even expecting the flank to come in. I think he might have heard the footsteps right there, and Pride is going to end up winning the very first pistol round. So that is already not a good start, as I had hoped Seed might have, especially, that sort of post-plan situation. You're thinking it's not looking that bad, though, all things considering. If they eliminate the player up in forklift right there, Seed, they might just have a pretty good go at it, They might just be in a position to win the pistol round, but that is the case. The guy in forklifts, Morels, did most of the heavy lifting in that round, picking up kills there towards Car Highway, as well as the flanker. It pretty much crushes the dreams of C to even be in contention in a round like that.
Seed, however, will be hoping they're in contention for this round, and they might just be, because Aiken has already found the first kill. Really quick reaction time there with that Desert Eagle, and the crosshair placement allows him to get that headshot through. I'm not exactly sure what Crystal's doing over towards B. I think he might be trying to bait out some shots, and he has a man in checkers who was there to help him. But now, I guess Crystal is just jumping here because he thinks he can fall back quickly. It does seem rather strange, but I guess he can be able to fall back fairly fast off this angle if the peek were to come through. And Tom might be going for the peek around the corner here, so I'm interested to see if this works out for Crystal, because I'm kind of expecting that aim punch could make it difficult for him to get fully back around the corner. Either way, over a minute left. Pride with the man disadvantage, but they will group up around the B site, and with only Crystal here with the USP, this isn't going to be easy, but he does get the information before falling back to the site.
And as the rest of the Pride team is coming on this B bombs, and the problem is already Seed, in fact, is relatively close here with the flanks. Morels, again, being such a big problem here for the C team, is just that Innocent is now in such a difficult predicament. He's just gonna get pushed down right there. Downright insanity from the Pride team. Morels stepping up massively for this team, I might add. He is doing quite well here from the get-go on this terror side. And Seed, it looked relatively close. You had players coming in from vents. There was still a guy on the side itself, but you know what, Morels, he is damn good today.
all that Seed are going to invest into this round is a Zeus for Spiddy. So let's see how that one goes for him. He's already spotted out the player towards B. That was Reitz with the UMP. In the meantime, Luz also himself only has a USP, only the pistol in his hands. But of course, being up against the full eco, this can still do a lot of damage. Here comes Reitz baiting out the Zeus. And indeed, he takes the kill before the Zeus can even fire off the shot. So nothing really going on. Aiken might get this kill, and there we go. The headshot comes out. So Pride lose a couple of players, but the guns they have lost here are just a USP and the UMP. So as long as they save the 3 AKs, they should be good. And indeed they will. Pride 3-0 up. And Crystal, sorry, was saving up for the AWP early on. So there we go. He's going to get the AWP, and Pride won't have one themselves. So again, let's see what Crystal can get done. Because remember, in that first gun round back on the first map on Mirage, Crystal certainly made a big difference as soon as he got that AWP.
Yeah, if he might have the op here, as we're seeing right now, he might just have, pretty decent impact here, Crystal, but already he's gonna try to get these early engagements, but that's not the correct part of the map where Pride is moving on. They're moving on towards middle, and this is where the majority of the Polish players are at, so the op is not gonna be able to accomplish much for the time being here, though, but Pride, they've certainly accomplished quite a lot in the past 20 or so seconds, picking up mid, getting a frag as well. Now the C team has got to wonder, where on earth will the Pride team will go? You can't abandon Z connector that because, they might just allow one of the players to sneak past through. So you got to be careful, and Minis. I mean, what is there more to say? He just runs out, picks up both those frags, and that is how Pride will secure the bomb site. Not by some sort of teamwork here, just Minis to get those frags, and that's the round over at this point. I mean, Crystal and Speedy, the best case scenario for them is to save the weaponry that they have.
Yeah, and I think, in my opinion, this was always going to be the issue for Seed heading into Cash here. Pride are just a very rounded squad individually, and okay, I mean, he's taken some damage from his teammate, but it won't be too relevant because the bomb will be planted, and the round is basically over already. But as I was saying, I think Pride has a very well-rounded individual squad, and Seed themselves have a couple of players that maybe won't be able to compete with that. We are going to see Crystal hope to save this AWP. However, you can see Pride slowly but surely moving in towards his position. However, Morelts goes down first. Now they know where these players are attempting to save. It's probably worth hunting down this AWP for Pride. They already have some money built up, and they will invest a few more players pushing forwards. Look at Manise. He's in a great position here. Does get that kill, and so Spiddy does find one back, but here comes the push. He gets baited in by the AK, and his greed will cost him his life. Luz takes him down, finishes off the round. And a quick 4-0 start again for Pride here. This is kind of similar to what we saw back on the first map, where Pride were able to build up such a strong lead in that first half.
And surprisingly as well, the thing is, why we're expecting C to play a bit better on the CD side, this is where the individuals step out. In comparison to the T side, yes, of course, you might have one of your players just running down maybe a side, picking up a kill or two, but that's not always going to be successful. On the defense, though, this is where your priority is to get at least one, in most occasions, 2 frags. Then your team has got a chance in whether it be closing out the round, winning the round, or even just having a good engagement. So Pride, from their point of view, they're doing a good job. But Icon getting that frag, and that's also a pretty good job. Speedy, though, trying to get the frag in, but not for just yet. Innocent will retrieve the AK, and it's still a 4 versus 4. Pride has got to be a bit more careful, especially as Icon already up in main. I have no idea why he thought that was a good idea.
Well, we did nearly get a kill from it as Tom was caught off guard, but Tom with the AK recovers well, and there we go. Morelts is going to catch Spiddy out in the open, and Crystal also goes down. Innocent does have the AK, and that's a very nice flick to pick up a second kill. However, Pride now know exactly where the last man is, so they will make their way back around. The bomb should go down towards B. Although, as I say that, Luz continues to fight with the AWP, and after he missed that shot, I was a little bit worried that the headshot could come through from the AK-47. However, it wasn't to be for Innocent. And without the kit, he's going to have to go quickly for the retake. Luz, holding the angle, will always come out on top with the AWP. And so Pride do take the 5-0 lead. A little bit scary for them, but they do close out the round nonetheless. And now Seed themselves are back at it again with the buy. Seed will have the AWP for Crystal as well, and he's got a great spawn if he wants to go for some aggression early on. So watch out for Crystal trying to find an opening.
Yeah, Crystal is gonna be your man. He's gonna be the one to do something going for the CT side team, because these past couple rounds haven't been that great. There we go. That's a good start there for Crystal and Co. And I can also take it out Manice, who was trying to push through the smoke. So I guess there's something working out for this team. Innocent though. Whoa, that was very close for an Innocent team and take down Reeds right there. And even though Tom has recovered the op, I mean Tom, he's got to recover the bomb as well. Look at where the bomb is at, and look at where the CTs are at. They're very close to each other. So Tom, okay, then Speed actually jumps down right there. That looked a bit scary. You know, Tom definitely could have gotten back if he would have hurt Speedy, but for some odd reason he didn't, and still Seed will be picking up around, and it's a good one at that. Pretty much the majority of the players do survive. Only Lonesome Crystal gets taken down, and heck, Crystal has got his op back into the game.
Indeed, he does. The first round for Seed, and Crystal yet again going towards B with this AWP. The smoke's going to come in, and Crystal could go aggressive, however he decides against it. As the flash comes out, we're not going to see too much aggression from Seed with that AWP. After Crystal did get the opening in the previous round, he decides to play things a little more safely. In the meantime, Dennis nearly found a frag towards A main. However, Morelts just goes down to 50 HP. Here you go Pride, though. They're lining up the nades, they're lining up the flashes, and they are lining up the push. The flashes work so well. Tom gets himself the opening kill, and now the rest of Pride will filter their way through. Luz also finds another frag, and so it's the man advantage for the Polish team. Aiken trying to push through the smoke, but he didn't have any supports, and that really just throws away any chance Seed had. Although, if I say that, Speedy will get 2 kills back, so they're certainly still very much in contention in the round.
There's definitely a possibility, don't get me wrong, but now look at Manice. He is coming for this flank, sorta. Chris, though, oh, he did spot out the player there, so he knows where the both players are at. The thing is, though, it's just that he's got to look at both at the same angles, and that is where things do get tricky. Pride do end up putting the round, but really, on that A defense, the A defense looked sloppy, to be honest. Dennis being caught out with an A, and I think he was trying to go for a pop flash, and he thought, okay, I'm gonna go switch. And that is where already we saw Pride's 2 players already on that A bomb side, knocking him out. And we also saw Aiken, who got stuck in the smoke, tries to go for a pop flash, but he gets spotted out and Seed. You know, that A defense looked rather lackluster, I might add. Pride, they do end up winning the round and kind of breaking the economy here for Seed. As we remember previously, the round that they did win was on the back of them surviving with 4 players, so they can still go for the investment. But the thing is, though, Speedy and Crystal don't really have much of a buy going for them. So I guess from Seed, the obvious choice is going to have to be a save. But already, Haka, we're seeing a similar storyline to what we saw in Mirage. Pride just getting it going in their favor. They start building up a momentum, and really, the Pride train is then hard to stop.
Yeah, see, they did take a tactical timeout. I assume just to discuss whether or not they wanted to buy, because they certainly could have forced into this round. But if they lost, they would certainly run the risk of being put back down to 2 ecos. And at that point, Pride will be way too far ahead. So I don't mind the decision to just go for the low buy and rely on the upcoming gun round, where again, Crystal will get the AWP. There goes Luz finding a fairly easy kill towards Squeaky, and the door is open now as Innocent also goes down on the site. Aiken with the deagle all the way back at Truck, does go down to the nade, so the pistol's not really going to get anything done. The nades just keep coming in. It's almost like artillery fire coming through in towards this position.
Yeah.
So Spiddy is now the only man left.
I mean, as the T's just pour on over from Squeaky, it's just a difficult task to Seed guys. I mean, they only have those pistols to work with, so that's definitely not a lot. Now they're going to be having rifles to work with, so that's a bit better, I'd say. Crystal has been doing a substantially good job with the up, I might add. It's sometimes that he just gets put in these sort of scenarios where either he's left in a 1 versus 2, or him and his teammate are alive. They're up against 4 Ts. He hasn't really found the most amount of impact, if not in the initial stages. There we go. There's the initial stage of the round, and this is where Crystal is able to get the kill and retreat to safety.
Yeah, Crystal has not been very mobile with the AWP. He's very often been over towards B, and yet still Pride face him with just their AKs early on. And oh my goodness gracious me! Innocent sprays through the door to get himself a frag. And so now Seed are looking like they should be in good shape to take this one with the two-man advantage. Lowe's is going to try and work a pick on the B site, and they still have a fair amount of utility left. However, Tom is nowhere near his teammate over towards Squeaky. The door will, however, be closed. So Luz, again, is just trying to get this kill, trying to make it a little bit more doable, because currently they are stuck in a 2-on-4 that is going to be very, very tricky to overcome. However, now Pride realize they might as well just group up and try and hit a site. Luz will make his way in towards Checkers, but still, Seed not peeking him, and that is clearly the right decision. No need to take any risks here. They can just wait and force the push to come in towards them.
That's what you want to do. You know, that's what you want to do if you're, for say, Seed in a round like this. You want to allow the terrorist side team to be the aggressors in a round like this because they have to, really. It's actually a pretty nifty Molotov being deployed there from Dennis that does leave a gap. And Speedy, I have no idea how that happened right there, but from his point of view, I bet it looked quite awkward.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how he died to the molly, but it doesn't really matter. Seed still take the round. They were so quick with the rotate over to the B site that Pride were never really going to be able to take that one. So Seed get their second on the board. And Crystal this time will finally switch things up. The AWP is going to focus towards mid, and look at this, the boost over the top. I like this from Crystal. He still can't spot the man out. There we go. The opening frag comes through. Very creative stuff from Seed to yet again allow Crystal the opening with the AWP. And again, he's been finding those opening frags for Seed fairly consistently with that AWP so far. He's very much been sort of the one man allowing them to get the man advantage early on in these rounds. And that's been so helpful for Seed to be able to get at least their 2 rounds on the board so far. And there goes Innocent, extending the advantage as he finds a headshot of his own.
And yeah, it looks like it's not only Crystal that's starting to get the sort of that nade actually. It still would have killed Reeds right there, but it did bounce off relatively interesting fashion. The thing is though, Seed, you actually can see it right now. The rest of the players as well starting to get some sort of confidence going here. It's not only Crystal that has been successful at getting these initial frags here, but we're already seeing the other players as well stepping up here on the CD side. They're finally starting to get a bit of a grip here, and heck, it's better later than never. And the first half is still in sort of mid portion, I might add. So 3-7 the scoreline. Yes, it's favoring Pride, but Seed is still in a position, and that's always a possibility for them to even acquire what can be considered as 5 rounds in a row.
Pride this time going to focus towards A. They're going to avoid Crystal's AWP. And out come the nades towards the A site. Innocent, the first man on the hole, gets the 1 kill. The flash comes out, but Innocent finds a second headshot, and Icon is in position to assist his teammate. Very nicely done on the hold. The counter flashes came out, and so Crystal should be able to close. Though Manice does land a tag on towards him with just the Desert Eagle. Still going to try and take some fights, but there goes Icon, shutting it out. And Pride there, they did kind of force up into that round, I believe, yet still their money is kind of on the edge. It's a really weird position for them to be in, but I assume now they will have to just go for another weak buy. So Seed has certainly solidified their position here on Cash, looking much better now on their CT side if they've won 3 in a row, and they'll be looking to make it a 4th, considering the buy that Pride have into this 12th round.
And they truly can, and it's Crystal again.
Stop
getting
peeking.
the entry fact. Yeah, I mean, he's stepping up here. He's definitely showing up to be a very prominent operator on the city side of Cash against Pride, though. And, you know, honestly, Pride, they gotta start figuring things out here. KB, we better leave that part alone because it looks like the opposition sniper, you know, Crystal is doing such a good job at just wrecking us every single time we try to peek him. So I don't blame them if they would try to change up the pace, try to play a bit more quicker, faster pace Counter-Strike, maybe towards a different part of the map. Right now, Tom has actually made his way onto the site. You know, he was on that A bomb site, and the thing is, though, he hasn't found any sort of CT, so he's coming back to the CTs who probably have the bomb in their possession. And No one's really watching the bomb, huh? Okay, finally Innocent does spot out Tom, but that it did look quite interesting. Yeah, 5 to 7 seed is looking good here, I might add.
Yeah, again, the main thing I'm saying there from Pride's perspective is just the fact that Crystal has been playing that position so often, you have to be ready for him to be there, and you can just try and flash him off the corner even, something simple like that, to make sure he can't get that opening kill, because time and time again, he has been successful in finding it, and we're going to see Pride yet again just go for the straight up peek, but this time it's going to work out. Luz finds the double spray down, and so Crystal with the bad spawn couldn't get anything done, and look at Manice go straight out through the smoke to open up the A site. And within the first 20 seconds of the round, Pride already have themselves a great advantage here. And Icon might also be in trouble. Goes for the peak, but Manice continues to hold onto the A-bomb site. A second frag for him, and almost certainly a round for Pride, as Crystal will likely just try to hold onto the orb.
There we go, Pride listened to me, and they do end up winning the round. Like I said, that's the thing. If you start playing a bit more, shall I say, aggressive, quicker paced Counter-Strike, the Seed players may not keep up, you know. The guys on Seed, you know, on that CT side, they started to feel comfortable because of the fact that Pride, they weren't doing such a good job at trying to get the initial frags. But when Pride brings the fight to them, this is where the CT side kind of crumbles, and Crystal, I'm quite surprised he was actually able to get that frag, but, you know, he's now in a spot where he's gonna try to back away, and he's sleeping on the trigger there a bit. Crystal is gonna try to back away, and I think he might just succeed, to be honest. Oh, Reed's pushing through! Crystal he's actually gonna survive there. Wow, that's some sick stuff there from Crystal. Anyhow, Pride do pick up the round, and the good thing for them is that Pride can very much be back in this one.
Here we go, Seed finally have the money for the double AWPs. I've been talking about them fairly often, but this is the first time I think we've really seen it come out from Seed. Icon will be the second AWPer out towards mid, and Crystal, as always, going to focus towards B main. He's not going to get too much action early on, however, because Pride are just spread out in their default. After the quick round works out for themselves, they will decide to slow things in this one. The boost is coming up there from Seed. They have Dennis up on Shroud. We haven't seen this yet from the CT side. So I'll be interested to see if Pride do still clear that position on the push forwards. You would still expect them to try and at least look towards that position. However, that might not be the case. We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, Crystal going to make his way out towards B, and the push into B main will give him some information, but there are still 3 players on the other side here, so Crystal does need to be a little bit careful, especially without too much support from his team.
He doesn't really have that support of his teammates, and that's problematic. Crystal, that's pretty unorthodox of him to miss a shot like that. I even can't understand how on earth did that happen. Crystal again whiffing a shot. How on earth is this happening now? Anyhow, he's gonna drop dead. But in a world where Crystal's able to pick up both those frags, I think Seed would be now very much in contention to win the round. But now, things are not looking so good.
Well, it is still a 4 versus 4. So let's wait and see if C can shut this out, because with 24 seconds left, Pride have to speed up the pace here, and Dennis won't be checked. Mini's needed to clear that angle. In the meantime, though, the push is coming out towards B. Can Spiddy slow things down? He's still looking to lock down the site. They haven't cleared it, and so the bomb will be dropped. Luz now needs to find this frag, and he needs it quickly, but Spiddy stays alive. I don't think there's time here. There is indeed not enough time for the plants, and so Spiddy does enough on the B site. Just holding things off for 10 seconds longer means that Pride cannot get the bomb planted, and C just about managed to win the round off of time alone.
It's good after all for them, you know, they do end up winning the round, which is nice for them, especially. Yeah, it's they won the round if Crystal is able to hit his shots, and heck, his teammates do step up in the end, so that is good to hear for Crystal. And now Pride, they don't really have the best sort of looking buy here, and we're already seeing what are they gonna do. It's gonna be simple, and even this sort of simple stuff right here could really work out here for the Terrorcide team as they are moving forward. They're gonna be meeting some opposition, and heck, they've killed both the opponents, make that 3 guys already dead. And now Crystal and Icon, both the players with the ops, are gonna try to go for this one. Crystal though, spotting out the player, but he tags him twice, and that's still not a kill. Finally whips out the 5-7 to finish things off. and Icon gotta be careful of those flames. Reeds and Minis will now try to hold this one off as Crystal and Co are gonna try to go for the retake.
Incendiary comes out and Reitz will not be forced out. It goes a little bit too far. And now, if they're not careful, they might not be aware he's here. Indeed, they assume the molly would have landed. However, instead, Reitz gets an easy kill, as does Manise to close out the half. 9-6 in favour of Pride. This half was a little bit closer than we saw in the previous map, but Pride still take a slight edge nonetheless. Just taking a quick look at the scoreboard. Again, Pride with very even frag distribution. This is what we've seen so far fairly often from them. Either way, let's head into the second half pistol. Let's see the buy from both teams. Seed will get a set of nades for Crystal. In the meantime, Pride has a kit and a smoke in the hands of Luz. And the P250 has dropped over to Icon as well as Dennis buying a Deagle. Let's see what these upgraded pistols can do from Seed because they have the chance to find some one-shot headshots with the Deagle and the P250.
That's definitely, a possibility, not a liability. Dennis with the deal moving in. The problem is, though, him not having any sort of armor. That is where even an aim punch with the Glocks is a opportunity. Or with, in general, pistols like ESPs, P2000s, P250s, you name it. And see, they seem to be wanting to push towards B, but now they're backing away there. One by one, they are retreating, and I do presume the way they're moving at, they're moving towards the A bomb site. There's only Lonesome Luz, who is holding a passive angle, but his job in a round like this, try to do some damage. If damage is not going to be the case, just try to survive there for as long as possible so his teammates can rotate in. He's not only surviving, but he's doing damage. So Luz picking up 2 frags. Crystal and Icon gonna try to hold this one off, and Minis coming from behind. And it's not going to mean much here, I'd say. Icon is gonna drop, and Pride a convincing round win from them. I'm quite surprised, to be honest, that C didn't continue on with the push there towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit strange. I thought they were going to commit to the push as well, but they decide against it. And going back towards A does not work out for them. Despite Icon's best efforts, despite him finding 2 kills with the P250, Seed still lose the round. And I do just want to point out, Icon is top fragging for the team, so Seed can't particularly put the blame on him standing in. He's having a fairly good showing for himself here. It's just the rest of Seed not really having too hot of a performance. But as I say that, where have these kills come from? The Deagles get themselves 3 entries, and the A site is wide open here. Pride potentially over-peaking there, over towards A main. And it's going to end up costing them this round here, because Spiddy will also find yet another Deagle frag. 4 Desert Eagle kills. And just like that, Seed are going to win the force buy.
Looks like it. The force buy will be working out here for the Seed side, and Reeds is gotta be feeling confused and dazed. How on earth did this just happen? The rest of the terrorist side will try to hunt him down, and the hunt will be successful as the prey will be going down. So Pride, oh boy, that was not supposed to happen, I'd say. They are going to be forcing up here because really they might have to double eco. That's not a possibility they're willing to take. So force buy does make sense, and Pride, can it go in their favor? I mean, it's possible, but then Seed has got to be the one to make a mistake.
Seed are going to focus towards mid at the early stages. Innocent with the Mac-10. Just going to run in first. The rest of the team will follow suit, thanks to the nades over the top. There are a fair few players here focused towards mid for Pride. One of them being Morelts with the Desert Eagle, and he might get the chance there. Here we go, Pride get themselves a couple of kills. However, there come the frags back for the T side, and a lot of damage dealt over on the B site towards Reach. So it looks good for Seed still. However, as they make their way towards B, Tom gets another frag. Finally, the trade comes in, and Reach is only 4 HP on the site. So I can't see him holding this one off with just a CZ. His opponents are also low, so a headshot could be good. In the meantime, Maniso managed to get a kill in towards the vent, so we're back to a 1-on-1. Again, an incredibly close force by round. And with Spiddy being on only 25 HP, Manice could very, very much pull this off if he finds a bullet or 2.
Yeah, that's the thing, Minis always got to do is land 2 shots, and if the shots do land on the body of Speedy, that's a frag there for Minis. And as Minis is creeping slowly, the timing, it's not gonna work out there for Manise though. He's still checking, he's not seeing anyone, and he's probably gonna think, okay, this part of the map seems to be empty. I'm guessing if I'm Speedy, he's probably gonna be making his way towards that A bomb city, but Speedy, he's still wondering about his options, but Manise, now that I did not expect to happen.
Yeah, I thought Manise was just going to rotate over towards the A site there and try and see if he could get there in time to sort of cut off the cross to the site itself. But instead, he fights towards mid, doesn't expect Spiddy to be there. And so I was assuming Spiddy would need a quick headshot with the AK-47, but the full spray down will be good for the kill and for the round. So despite Seed taking that one close, they just about managed to hold on against the force buy. So now Pride themselves only have pistols. Couple of flashes as well to work with as they stack towards mid. And again, Manise gets the first kill. Seed need to make sure that they do successfully push. Aiken there, making his way forwards alone. However, now he has the support of Innocent. In the meantime, though, Aiken did go down, so Innocent needs to make sure that AK can't be picked up. And that kill should do just that, but still, kills coming through for Pride, considering how weak this buy was. Seed did lose a couple of players at the start, however, should still be... Oh no, Crystal just about pulls out the MAC-10. He had the flash in his hands, but the timing works out his way. Reach, though, finds another kill here. This was surprisingly a fairly close round. However, Seed will still hold true to get their 9th on the board.
It looked relatively close. No, not necessarily close. It's just that, I mean, Seed, they gotta be a bit more careful even in a round like this. Barely with any sort of investment in yet. Able to do quite a decent amount of damage, you could say. Pride, though, they're still the team that is in the lead, but they're now going to be seen still on the terrorist side with the op in hand, and it looks like he's going to be... Oh, he's actually going to be boosting one of his teammates, not him going for the boost, so he's going to try to do some damage, but Dennis and Aiken both picking up frags, but Tom as well, getting 2 for the price of 1, and well... I'd say that this is a good trade that's still going to be favoring Seed. They do get the initial engagements, but it's a free versus free. Really, it's Seed. All you gotta do now is decide which bomb site are they gonna hit.
And they've still got plenty of time to make that decision. Not only the even trades, but also a little bit more damage dealt to Tom. And look at Pride. They don't want to sit back passively. They're going to push out towards B. The first kill comes in, but Spiddy is ready to pounce. And pounce he will, finding himself 2 kills. And now Manise is in towards vents here. This might be unexpected. He spots out the first man, gets to the site. Spiddy goes down. And that's the bomb out in the open. And Crystal only has an AWP to clutch this one for his team. The peek comes in. The timing nearly works out for Manise. But still, Crystal gets the movement to get himself to safety, to land himself the shot. And now we very much have a game on our hands. A 10-10 scoreline. And what a shot that was from Crystal to close the round.
A crucial shot, I might add. Pride, if they get that frag, they still continue on their sort of leadership here in cash, but for the first time ever, Seed, in fact, will be equalizing the scoreline. Now, if you're Pride, I wouldn't say that's very daunting from your part. It's just that, well, I think they were still hoping to sort of have this sort of engagement throughout the entirety of the map, but looks like Seed have got a fighting chance here, to be honest. Luz is only rocking that USB of his towards that A bomb set, and the rest of the squad really, they have a bit of an investment, but it's nothing worth bragging about from the Pride side.
Yeah, certainly feels like Seed should be able to win this round fairly convincingly. However, there is still potential for Pride with the heavy stack to the A site. 3 players there, and right now Seed have the bomb in towards A main. So we might have to watch out for the opportunities the pistols get themselves. However, Aiken already gets the entry kills. And Pride there, despite having the stack, they weren't really that well lined up to hold the push off. You saw the player at Forklift especially was just out in the open. Aiken will throw out the nade, that forces Morales back. And so the 3A players only get 1 kill between them. And that should mean that Pride will go crashing out of this round. And Seed will be able to gain themselves the round lead here. Pride not looking good to start their CT side. The question is, will they get the AWPs into the next round? Because Morales certainly won't be winning this. Although 2 headshots make it a little bit scary. He's already got 3 frags on the round. Out comes the flash. And Crystal going to continue to peek in towards him. Morales gets another headshot. Nearly finding the chance for the final frag. However, I can just about shut it out. Still, a very nice display of skill there coming out from Morelts to find the 4 frags. And now heading into this gun round, that might give him a little bit of a confidence boost into this round 22.
Yeah, these rounds are close, I'm not gonna lie. Seed are coming out on top, that is correct, but there have been at least a couple of 1vx situations here on Cash, the second half to be exact. The Terracide team still not really showing up to be the superior team, even though they are here in the lead. I'd still say Pride are still very much in contention in the second half. For the time being, though, the Terracide team is not even going to focus towards mid, maybe with the cross smokes now being deployed from Icon and Co. From Icon, and I do believe that also Speedy. So Terracide team has thrown the smokes, but will they go for that mid push? Apparently not. They threw the smokes, but the thing is, though, looks like they're going to try to hit this A bomb site, in fact, of all things.
Certainly looks like the A site is where Seed are focusing themselves, at least at the start of this round. With the minutes left, they could still go back. However, as the nades come through, it becomes more and more likely they will commit to the push. Out comes an even trades towards mid, but now we'll have to focus on the trades towards the A site, because Dennis is already making his way forwards. There's a gap in the smoke. Here comes the push. Reitz gets the first, looking for the second, and he flicks up to find Innocent, and he's still going to look to lock down the site. You can see Seed a little bit hesitant with their push forwards. Icon so low on health, and so Seed continues to hold things off. 3 kills for him, and Manice will close the round with the AWP. And see there, the first 2 players pushed in trying to gain control of the site, but the rest of the team weren't really ready to help them out, and so that allowed a fairly easy hold towards A for Pride. And Seed, despite winning 5 rounds in a row prior to this one, they're going to be forced straight back down to pistols. That's a devastating loss for Seed.
That is... I wouldn't say so that it is a very devastating loss, but a loss is a loss. Pride, though, in fact, a good thing for Pride is that after winning that round like that, Seed, you know, them not having the money is very good here for the Polar side. Seed, like I said, you know, some of those rounds were relatively close, and you could say that, you know, oh, if Seed, you know, they end up pushing on that A bomb site and take down the lonesome defender who was on the side. I think it was Morels or Manice. Pardon me for my memory, but if he is able to get both of those frags, it means that Seed kind of screwed up, and they did. You know, Dennis, he could have killed the guy from smoke, but he didn't, and thus Seed, they're gonna have to eco this one out. Think about the gun rounds here, Seed. Gotta forget mistakes. Mistakes were made, that is correct, but now you gotta focus on how to win the upcoming round, the 24th round here, because the investment, trust me, it will come through, because Seed in the sort of scenario where I guess they could go for another eco, but that would mean that Pride would just be giving away 2 rounds for free, and if you're a Seed, you don't want to allow that to happen. Crystal, he's not going to be having his up, which is a bit dissatisfying, but hey, he's going to be rocking a deagle of his.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying that previous round loss was so devastating for them, because now, sure, they get the bye here, but it's not exactly perfect, and already Pride themselves are going to think of some aggression. Seed struggling to be able to boost the players up. There we go. Eventually the one man will go up on top. And Aiken already finds that first kill. Nice angle from Tom, though, to get the frag back. And Pride get themselves a couple of kills to go their way. A man advantage now for Pride. And Morales is still pushed up close towards mid. The timing is everything he needs to watch towards boost. There's a player boosted up. And Dennis is out in the open. He could be exposed, but still they don't spot each other. This is really awkward right now. And this next kill is going to be so important. And it goes the way of Morels. Now Seed might just go crashing out of this round with only 2 players left. Although Innocent is one of them. And as he gets a kill back, with Pride having a couple of players low on health here, Seed could be good to have a chance in the round if they can get a quick kill. And if they go towards mid, Morels is only on 5 HP. So he needs to be very, very safe here for Pride.
Yeah, he's going to try to. He is going to try to stay put here. But the thing is, though, you know, Crystal and Innocent in a round like this, not to say that it's out of the realm of possibility, but they gotta be working here as a unit, though. Crystal will be taking out Morales, who was caught out in the open. I'm not quite sure if that was the best decision from his part, but Seed now are making You could say a bit of a mistake, as now they're gonna be running into the A bomb site where two players are standing. Tom has been spotted out. Crystal should have dropped, but now Reeds up against Innocent, and Innocent, he's running low on the clock. He's running low. Reeds is gonna try to go for the peak, and he will be getting that kill. 13 to 11. Seed didn't have much of a fighting chance, I'd say, after Crystal being dropped with the very little time on the clock. 10 seconds. Innocent just has such a huge, difficult clutch ahead of him.
Yeah, and that round there might be the decisive one for Pride. Despite it going incredibly close, Pride take the victory. They take the 13-11 lead. And so now looking at the scoreboard, you can see Seed's money isn't great. At the same time, Pride don't have that much money built up because as we saw in that round, it came down to a one-on-one, and they haven't been able to save too much money up previously. So Seed, they could think about the force buy here if they wanted to try and break Pride's money, and winning this one would of course be great for them. However, they have to also look at their own buy, which would be fairly poor. And Aiken has bought up with a CZ and armor. He's gone down to only $1,200, so it's not a full investment, but still a fairly hefty amount of Seed's money spent on this round, and with only pistols to show for it. Let's see what they have in mind after the tactical timeout with 3 smokes, with a fair few nades. Looks like they have the A site in their sights.
It's looking like it's gonna be the A side, but instead of just deploying, in most teams that you do get to see deploying that white smoke towards highway, they're gonna be throwing a whole barrage of smokes on the sites itself, maybe even towards quad. No, they're just gonna go for this push here. Apparently, Crystal could be kind of finding that frag, and he will find the frag. The pistols, though, and look at it, there's an op in the form of Speedy. He could get a frag here, could go for seconds, but it's not meant to be. Seed now in a position to do some serious damage here. Crystal is gonna get knocked out, but at the same time, we have Innocent and Dennis. Relatively decent positions from them. Dennis is in a one and done spot, so he needs to find the frag here, but they're expecting him. I think Tom might have spotted him out. The Molotov is gonna finish him, and Innocent, he is still right behind quad. We've seen some serious clutches happen from this position. The 1v1 though, Morels, he's gonna try to stick it, but not for long. The shadow has been spotted, and that's a round here for Pride. Close in the end, that is true. And you're probably thinking the Molotov could have found a better use there on the A-bomb side.
Man, that was so close at the end there, and with this game also being so close, that was such a massive one-on-one, and Pride managed to hold their nerve to take their 14th round. And so Seed themselves, of course, remember that was a fairly small investment from them, so they certainly still have the buy, especially thanks to the bomb plant. It's pretty much full nades on everyone, even an AWP for Crystal. So now coming into this round, we'll have to see if Seed can have a similar performance to the previous round where they did successfully take the site and did get themselves the advantage. And already Spiddy has the advantage in this round, finding the opening. Dennis nearly finding a kill towards mid. However, Luz will play things safe. There is a player pushed up close left. It's Dennis who hasn't spotted him out here. Finally swings back around. However, it's Innocent who's forced to push through to drop Morales out of the round. And now Tom, if he goes pushing through this smoke, that could be the round over because there is a C player waiting for it. We will see Seed line up the B play. There's only Tom here. He gets the 1 kill, but that's all she wrote for Tom on the B site. And so Ritz and Luz have to retake B at the man disadvantage.
And I mean, you can't really blame Tom in that position. He's just in such a difficult spot to accomplish anything. So for him to even get that 1 frag is already something, but right now, Ritz and Luzov thinking about their options. I mean, it's a possibility to go for that round. I think if there would have been a low HP player, the nade actually kills someone, if it would be then down to a 2 versus 2, I think Pride would commit to the push. But now they're saying that, okay, it's not really worth it. If we're actually able to save the rifles here, our team will be able to make an investment. You know, they're going to be having free rifles, which isn't that bad, but the rest are probably going to have to stick with pistols, which isn't that good. But at the same time, you know, Seed, they are going to be getting their 12th round in, and Pride, they've still got some rounds to work with here.
Yeah, Pride, though, don't really have that much money for the buy into this round. Thankfully, they did save those 2 rifles, so that will give them some chance. And in the meantime, look at C. Double AWPs on the T side. We saw this previously on their CT side of things, and Icon will pick the second one up. And by the way, Icon is up there at 25 kills, the stand-in leading the way for Seed. By the way, push comes out, but Innocent sprays through the smoke to find that initial frag, and look at the damage! Spiddy takes Morelts down to half HP, so the spams through the smokes, through the walls, get a huge amount of damage early on for Seed. And Pride instead will react with a boost, both players being boosted, but Icon is ready for it, finding the headshot with the AWP. And now they know that Luz is up close, they know exactly where he is, and Icon will push through. He's just exposed from way too many positions. And so Seed are going to win against the Force by more than likely. Reitz does get the one kill, but he can only find the one kill. And so Tom, yet again, is all by himself towards the B site. And this is looking like this could really go down to the wire now, because Pride are not going to have the money heading into this next round.
No, there aren't, and this... Oh, yeah, Crystal does spot a Tom there in the end. That is where things do get difficult here. They do get dicey for the Pride side, because now the scoreline is going to be 13-14. You can't deny it. And the thing is, though, they might just have to go for a bit of an eco here. And with that eco in mind, you know, Pride, they could allow C to acquire 14. Then the scoreline would be 14-14, and, you know, it's such a difficult choice to be making right now for Pride. And I think still the smart choice would be just to go for an eco here, and of course the tactical timeout being called out to discuss what are we gonna do after the eco, because then is where the round that do count gonna happen. You know, 14-14 is the possibility for either team to actually hit 15, and after that maybe a possibility to even hit 16. So it's gonna be interesting. What is Pride discussing? I presume that what we saw previously in middle wasn't really going according to their plan, to their game plan, Pride. So I'm wondering how are they going to change things up.
Yeah, it looks like Pride, after taking the timeout, decided the best course of action is just to full eco this round. Default pistols across the board. So Pride, well, they will at the very least decide to stack towards the A bomb site. So that could have some success for them, especially as Seed themselves are going to spread out. And if multiple players with those USPs push forwards and catch some of the Seed players out, there could be the chance for a kill or two before the round gets underway. But Dennis, perfect flash around the corner for that initial kill. Very well played by him. There was a dink from Luz. He decides to fall back, opening up the door.
Oh,
great kill from Luz there, finding the double dink. And so there will indeed be a kill on the A site. And look at Pride. They have 4 players stacked here. This could be dangerous to see, but the utility is looking good to clear out some of these positions before the push comes in.
Yeah, that's the thing. Utility, they gotta use it before they enter the site, but now they only have these smokes and flashes, and really the smokes could even work out in the favor of the CTs who are on eco. But also look at Speedy. His positioning is very nice, getting the frags that really Seed now can decide to do worse, so hit another part of the map. But before they do so, Speedy has got to do some cleaning up. Innocent, though, looks like he's going to be doing the majority of the cleanup here. The Innocent could be also spotting out Tom, and in fact Tom is going to be dropping dead. So wow, you know, if Seed would have committed on that push, you know, anything could have happened, really. It could have gone in favor of Pride when you think about it, but it's a good thing they don't commit. And the players pushing up Squeaky do kind of mess up. They don't kill Innocent there in the end, but still, a close round nonetheless. And that's, I guess you could say, the storyline of the first half. It's been, of the second half, it's been relatively close.
14-14. So this round means so much for both teams. Reitz does take some damage early on there. That was Aiken's AWP, I think, that may have landed that shot through the wall. Either way, it's not really too much damage done. However, he will be boosted up into vents. As we were talking about earlier as well, Seed have themselves the double AWPs. So I'll be waiting to see if that can find them an opening frag early into the round. Doesn't seem to be the case though, because Pride are just sitting back and biding their time and forcing Seed, of course, to go for the aggression. On the T side, they themselves are going to be forced into making the pushes first. Over a minute left on the clock, still loads of time for Seed. However, it is starting to become slightly more of a factor here. But still not really any aggression coming out from Seed to start the round.
Yeah, nothing much really. Not even towards that mid part of the map. It's just that the T's themselves are expecting for the CTs to start make mistakes, and Icon is gonna be calling out Morales in the last possible second. And with that frag, looks like Seed knows what they gotta do. They're gonna try to push on the A bombs, so they gotta clear out the angles though. This is where the CTs are at, and Dennis and Speedy both getting the frags there. This is where I think Pride is gonna be having a difficult. Seed is gonna be having 15, that is correct, and Pride, they're not gonna be having much in the next round. By winning this one, they might have just secured themselves the map.
Yeah, Pride realise there's no real chance in a 2 versus 5 retake, so they decide to save. Tom will try and get this M4 saved, and there is the 1 kill. But of course, C can just invest everything into hunting these players down. Their money is going to be perfect for round 30 either way. And so as 1 rifle is lost, that lowers the chances. Tom is going to push aggressively here. He wants to upgrade! What is that kill there with the pistol? Finding another frag. However, eventually Tom goes down, and so the guns will not be saved. And as we were talking about, Pride do not have the best of money for the buy here. See, they've done so well to get to this position, and it would be very frustrating if they didn't close this one out, but sometimes it seems like that is the case. Sometimes it seems like these sort of force buys somehow manage to pay off. Maybe it's the movement, maybe it's just the fact that you don't play with as much fear, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the case here for Pride, because already we're going to see Tom go aggressive. The 1 rifle tries to open up. There is the kill for Luz. That's a rifle recovered, and Pride gets a great start to the round. 2 rifles now in their hands, and that might make all the difference in this 30th round, but there goes Innocent, making sure it's a 1-for-1. Manice getting the kill here, spraying away, picking up the AWP, and this is going fairly wrong now for Seed. They're down a man. They eventually get the trade back, but still rifles in the hands of Pride.
And also take a look at one of the players, to be exact, Innocent and Co. They're moving on to say bomb site, but Luz is actually going to be able to take down Dennis, and with Dennis being dropped, he has got himself a rifle. I mean, Pride, they're going to be taking this one. I don't see it happening any other way. Really, I mean, Innocent, such a difficult spot for him.
He has got the time, he has got the bomb. He hasn't yet got all the kills he needs. He's already found the first 2. He's going to need the ace to win this map for Seed. There goes the first fight, and Innocent now could realistically pull this one off. The flank is coming in. Pride are not playing together here. Innocent goes for another peek, and that was so incredibly close. If Reitz there ends up losing that fight, that would become so scary for Pride. I don't know why they fought Innocent 1 by 1. However, either way, they just about do manage to close it out, manage to take us to overtime. And Seed now, well, we'll get to see if they go for the double AWPs, because they did seem to go for it on their T side as well, and that's something to watch out for, because Icon has been fairly on point with that AWP so far, up there at 28 kills, as we wait to get into overtime.
Yeah, now I guess we're gonna have to wonder, I mean, how are both these teams feeling? I think if you're Pride, hitting overtime is gonna be a godsend for you at this point. I mean, winning a round like that, they got themselves a fighting chance here. Still very much a fighting chance. If you're, for instance, Seed on the other hand, you're probably thinking, okay, all you gotta do now is maybe think about just getting round by round by round. And heck, they were at 15 at one point, 15 to 14. They were in contention to close off the map, but it just didn't work out. So I guess still it wouldn't be that bad of a mental state for both these teams. I think they're going to be relatively happy. And heck, I mean, it's overtime. This is the best case scenario for you to get fresh into the game. Think about it that, oh, we got to play 4 maps to get the victories. Let's just concentrate on just getting these rounds. We got loads of money. Money's not an issue. Let's just think about how are we going to be getting the rounds here.
Won't be the double AWPs in this first one for Seed. Just going to be Crystal on the AWP himself. Nade comes out towards mid. Dennis taking so much punishment. And Morels finds that opening kill. The spray through the smoke punishes the aggression from Seed early on. And the rest of Seed weren't really ready to try and push out and try and find the trade there. So just an easy man advantage for the Polish team to start off the round. The rest of Seed will now make their way out towards mid. However, Morels not particularly going to be taking the fights playing things fairly safe. He has allowed Icon to get in towards white box, and here goes Icon. Why is Luz not aware that the player can be there? He goes down for free. And so we do go back to a 4v4 thanks to Icon's aggression.
I must say that Morales is doing a horrible job at watching middle. He really didn't do a good job at it, but Reeds, though, he actually drops the player. This is massive stuff from Reeds. Even though his teammate did screw up there in the middle, now Reeds is in a position to actually claim this one for the team, as Speedy's gonna try to hunt him down, and Reeds will be hunted down, but at the same time, you know, this took off time of Seed. They needed to recover the bomb. Now they do have the bomb, but look where they at. They're in T-spawn of all places. They're gonna have to hurry up. And once the T's have to hurry up, this is where they might come down to making some crucial mistakes.
25 seconds, and so Seed will commit to the A site. Morels forced out by the flames, but he gets back to safety, and the rotator's coming in. Great flash from Morels. He forces them to turn away. Innocent finally finds the kill, but the damage has been done. He's down to 12 HP, and with 2 players to face and 10 seconds left, the nade will get the job done. Really nice pop flash coming out, and also it worked out really well that he took out the player that turned his back to make things much easier on the hold. And so Pride do take the first round their way. Remember, of course, it's the first team to 19 rounds that would take this map. Unless we end 18-18, then we would head to another overtime. And something to point out here, Crystal has reinvested into the AWP, and Spiddy also doesn't have the best of money. So if Seed do lose this round, their buy into the next one could be poor. So this is very important now for Seed to take this round their way.
That's the thing with MR3K when you think about MR10K, MR3 10K. I mean, you only have 10,000 bucks within the first half. And the thing is, though, if you do end up losing 2 rounds in a row, you're not going to be having the best buy unless you haven't also been able to get bomb plants. So if you do get those bomb plants, then you might just be able to scrape a buy, which still wouldn't be the best possible buy in comparison to what you have had previously. Now, if you're Pride, in a round like this, I'm even quite surprised they're playing it relatively passively. I think they should be expecting an op, and that op is going to try to get these initial engagements here. For the time being, though, Crystal hasn't really seen anyone as of yet, but he's just poking around with the op, making himself known, and now the players with the rifles, looks like they're going to try to hit this bomb site.
Dennis taking the point, and he will do just that. It's actually Crystal to get the kill, but Dennis does eventually find another headshot. Fairly simple push, but it's going to work so incredibly well. Finally, Spiddy is traded on, and so Pride, with a 2-on-3, could get this retake, but they're going to require some fairly quick kills. And Crystal holding off will find an easy frag. Manise did get a frag from A-Main in the meantime. However, he's left 1 versus 2. The flash comes out. Crystal does miss that shot, and Manise pushing forwards here with the AK. This could be doable as the players peeking towards him, but there goes Dennis opening up for his second frag. And so Seed do win that all-important round to make it 16-16. And a fairly simple A push there, but their utility that they did throw out, they didn't throw out too much utility, but the utility they did place was so well used there. You saw the flashes coming through, full blinding the opponents. The Molotov intervals quad made a huge difference. And okay, the start of the round will not go great for Pride. A tiny bit of damage onto Reets from the teammates. However, here we go. Last round of this first half of overtime.
And we're seeing Morels with the MP9 of all weapons exchanging to the AK-47. Now that is a very good pickup, but going for more Morels. I mean, he's got to be satisfied with already having what he has in Manise. Now that is a great flash from his teammate at Seed. Morels is going to be taking down Crystal, and things aren't looking so good here for Pride now. You know, Seed is actually going to be taking control of the B bomb site, which doesn't have any sort of defenders. And now Pride will, of course, try to go for the retake here. Luz has also got the Molotov. He could be prepping it to be throwing it on the side itself and then try to go for the peek. He goes for the peek, but he misses the shots completely. Speedy and Dennis now got a chance for themselves.
Oh, and Spiddy finds a second fight there. Pride just fighting 1 by 1, and that might end up costing them because Reets is the only man left. Getting towards the site, hoping someone will peek the fake defuse. Spots out Spiddy, still peeking in and out, and eventually he commits to the wide peek to find the final frag. It's a 4K for Spiddy and a 17th round for Seed, at the half. And Pride there, I have to feel like they kind of misplayed that retake. They really just walked in one by one, giving Spiddy one-on-one fights. And as he gets himself all of those frags, Seed have the slight edge heading into their CT side here into this overtime. And they have gone for the AWP in the hands of Crystal yet again. We saw him going towards B fairly often, and that will be the case to start off this round as well, as we head into Seed's CT side.
And of course, Crystal wouldn't be Crystal if he wouldn't start things off by pushing towards B, trying to get an engagement there, but he's not going to be getting anything else of yet. There's a smoke being deployed right in front of him. And now if you're Pride, I think it's going to be one of those rounds where Maniz is going to go massive for the team, but apparently he's going to be playing a bit of a more supportive role, so it's teammates. It's his teammates who are going to go in first on this bomb stage, which doesn't have the most amount of defenders, but they are very close to one of them. Tom will be getting the frag, Dennis though will be burning down the reads, and now Dennis can be quite a problem here. He will get dropped, but now this still means that the terrorist side team are going to be having to hold off a retake.
Spiddy's just waiting towards mid. It looks like he is aware of Luz's position, and he's going to cut off the peak from Luz. So now Seed have the man advantage, but still have to go for the retake, or else nearly finding the headshot, tapping away. However, Crystal himself also whiffs the shot of his own with the AWP. Here comes the push, so Spiddy finds another frag, stepping up for his team in overtime. And Maniz also goes down. Some great rounds from Spiddy. They have looked like fairly sort of easy kills. However, at the same time, he has to continue to win these one-on-one fights. And he manages to do just that to give Seed 2 map points.
Truly, you know, Speedy and Dennis, you know, they've been stepping up on the scoreline. You may not think so, as, you know, you could be saying, you know, Ike and Innocent, those guys top frag, and now Speedy has actually caught up to his teammates, in fact. And, well, Pride, I mean, that wasn't really played that well, I might add. You know, the retake, though, does work out there for Seed. Yes, you might have seen they're the ones to win the round, but the guy in Forklift, I'm not quite sure why he did overpeak there towards Highway. There were like two guys aiming his guns right at him. It didn't work out for him at all. And then Maniz just stuck in a horrible 1v3. And look at Seed. We haven't seen this sort of confidence push in quite a while for them, and a push like that towards Squeaky never throughout the entirety of the game. So now this is looking good here for Seed. Has Pride barely any sort of map control alongside it. This could really work out here for the Seed.
Certainly could. They take some of the map away from Pride to start things off. That does mean that 2 players are committed in towards Squeaky. So the B site could be somewhat open, but you can see Innocent making sure that won't be the case. In fact, it's actually Icon who will make sure that's not the case, going towards the B site and making sure Spiddy will have the assistance if it is required. However, instead, Pride will be focusing towards mid, and it looks like they will try to split the A site. Dennis gets that first frag, looking for a little bit more as he pushes in, but Tom does find the frag back. Innocent trying to spray through the smoke there, gets himself a headshot, and so Seed now have a 2-man advantage. The bomb is dropped down and they are in all kinds of trouble as Innocent opens up with a second frag. Finally, Maniz gets one for Pride, but he has to win a 1-on-3 with 23 seconds. Where is the bomb? What? He gets the bomb. I was going to say, thought he couldn't pick it up, but he gets the bomb back. 15 seconds and Maniz just has to go, and he has to go now.
And he's gonna get knocked out. I mean, he's gonna drop dead, and Pride. That's, I'd say, quite the way I did not expect to go. After losing that force by there on the second half, it looked like I'd say, a different team. You know, they had some sort of issues with it. It comes down to communications by the looks of it. And just, you know, C did such a good job at just proving to be a better team. And heck, that's what it really comes down to, being the better team. And the better team was Seed in the map of Cash. And we are, of course, gonna have to go to a third map now, because the first one, very dominant stuff from Pride. Nearly edging it out is Seed on the second map, and on the third map now, I have no idea who to be favoring here. You don't know how to, let's say, what's the mental status of the Pride camp, because really, it could now go anyway.
Yeah, both teams win their own map picks. Pride certainly were more dominant in their victory, but Seed managed to take it in overtime on Cash nonetheless. So that means we will head to Cobblestone as a decider. Make sure to stick around for that one, because we're going to have to wait and see who Kingwin will be facing in that semi-final. Either one of Pride or Seed could still find themselves in that matchup. And then, of course, if they win this series, they will get the chance against Kingwin to take that spot at the LAN. We will be back with the third and final map after this break. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to stick around to see which way this one goes.